Can I just say that?
Yes.
Because
We love you. We love you.
that's my love in all of the people that have contributed to that, because there's so much negativity. We have to pull absolutely every last ounce of love out of people. There's a whole bunch of people here who don't know who I am and going, what the fuck. And some days I'm better at keeping myself together, but I'm not today. And you know what? Who cares? So my son died in 2016 of fentanyl poisoning. And I've been an artist and an activist all my life. I worked in the downtown east side in mental health, like in the 80s. And last December, I went to the Drug User Groups and Community Resilience Conference that was held in Abbotsford. And I was amazed and delighted to discover that there were activists, there were drug user groups, which I had never heard of. And I really wish that my son had been connected and had that kind of access, and to know that there are people who are actively working on recognizing that we have rights and we are demanding them. And so I went back to, I'm an artist in residence for the city of Maple Ridge, and Maple Ridge is a terribly divided community. There's a lovely table full of people from Maple Ridge, and my residency home is literally right around the corner from Anita Place, so these are my neighbors and folks that I've been hanging out with for a long time. But I wanted to reproduce that in Maple Ridge, and so then I ended up getting involved with the task force in Maple Ridge. I better not go there today, because I'm just a little. So I co-chair that community action team now. So I am very aware of the things like tokenism and things like that. And I think we just really have to speak up and say our piece. But anyway, so we're going to hopefully organize a group in Maple Ridge. That's what Peter was talking about, and that would be really good. And also a conference that brings together families and the service providers that really need to see people and hear people, and not just have two people at a boardroom table. But anyway, I do want to say that I also then ended up from that conference connecting with Moms Stop the Harm, and it is a very pissed off mothers are a really good resource, you know. It's a national organization. It's an advocacy and activism group, but it's also a support group. And we're not just, yes, I've lost my son, but I'm working for all the other sons and daughters. I want to keep people on this planet. And that's what Moms Stop the Harm is. We care about our children that we've lost, but we also care about the ones that are here, and we want to keep them here. And we do call for an end to the failed war on drugs, which is a war on the people that we love. And we are all about harm reduction, and that people that use drugs are treated with respect and compassion, and they're not shamed, blamed, and criminalized. So we're big on fighting for decriminalization. And art is my way to do harm reduction, and that's what I've been doing. And I think, Dawn, you said anything we do, I was at Stimulus in Edmonton, and anything that we can do to make it better is harm reduction. And so this project, you can read about it, I'm not going to go into great detail, but some of those quilt squares are made by 3-year-olds and 83-year-olds, so they don't need to know about the war on drugs or anything. It's about positive energy. And so I will set up some supplies, and if people want to make a square to go into this project, that would be great. And I'm going to shut up now.
thank you for all of the heartfelt words that have been said. I'm Donald MacPherson. I'm the director of the Canadian Drug Policy Coalition. We're a national organization. We work at the national level, provincial level, local level, and the international level. And we value our network incredibly because we're only 3 staff at the moment. But we hope to change that, and we hope to our number one, our 3 policy priorities for working with people across the country are regulation of drugs and a safe drug supply, decriminalization of drugs, and scaling up of harm reduction. So with limited resources, we feel that those are the 3 things that really need to change to deal with the shit that is happening in our society, in this country in 2018. And you've heard, just being here this morning, I hear how miserable people are being treated with the methadose fiasco, with life on the street, life trying to get housing, the 7 people that got housing in Maple Ridge. I mean, we're dealing with historic injustice that started in the early part of the 1900s, and we have a drug policy in this country that that's the drug policy we have. It's built on punitive policy frameworks, and there's a famous book that was written about an analysis of it. It's called Panic and Indifference, and it's about how Canada's drug policies were created in a sense of moral panic. Oh my God, there's a drug problem here, there's a drug problem there, or there's this drug or there's that drug, and laws were created and people were punished, and indifference was the other side of it. And these laws were created with absolute indifference to their impact on people who use drugs. So we have a big job ahead of us as a country, as a community, to end the injustice of drug laws that were built in the early 1900s, based in colonial attitudes. And the Canadian Drug Policy Coalition is planning to have a series of public meetings and community dialogues focusing on legalization and decriminalization of drugs, and how do we get from here to there. So I really, I'm very moved by everything I hear in the room, and the stimulus conference was great. I hope you can all come to the next one, wherever it is. And it's just a testament to the resilience in your community, our community, that we can get together and celebrate the small victories, saving a life, getting some housing, getting some methadone, whatever those small victories are. And we're definitely here in solidarity with everyone in this room and all the people in the British community who couldn't make it to this room. And I hope your next meeting is twice as big, and we'll help out in any way we can. So thank you very much for giving me a couple of minutes, and I really appreciate it.